Good morning, Papa Bear here, back with another exciting video. For those new just tuning in that haven't been on my channel before, my name is Mike, aka Papa Bear, on the trail. Over the past few years, I've done a couple through hikes. In 2021, I did the Vermont Long Trail through hike, and then in 2022. I did Bama to Baxter, which was a through hike of the Pinhoti part section of the Bet Mackay Trail to connect up with the through hike of the Appalachian Trail. And then last year I through hiked the Sheltowee Trace Trail. So a big thank you to my wife. She's always my biggest supporter. So she's granted me her blessing to through hike the Pacific Crest Trail this year. So thank you, babe. Fall of 2023, I was laid off, and so I guess the timing has worked out to hike the PCT this year. I wasn't planning to do another big hike until 2025, which I wasn't sure if I was gonna do the PCT or the CDT, the Continental Divide Trail. But I was able to secure a PCT permit for basically the date I wanted, not just once but twice. I initially had a permit towards the end of April, and then on the second round of when the permits get released, I was able to trade in my permit for like a mid-April start date. And my dog Bear's over there, she's running around. So yeah, I'll be starting the PCT in, actually it's a little over 2 weeks at this point. So appreciate you guys following along. For those that don't know, the PCT, it's essentially broken down into 5 sections. It starts out at the Mexico-Canada border, and it goes for about 700 miles through the desert in Southern California until you get to a place called Kennedy Meadows, which is around mile 700. And then that's like kind of the gateway into the Sierra, which is like the much higher elevation of the trail. That's the highest point of the trail that goes, that ends up being in Central California. The trail goes for about 400 miles in the Sierra, with the highest elevation on trail, I think it's around 13,500. Or some people opt to do a side trip up to Mount Whitney, which is 14,500. And then after the Sierra, it goes into Northern California for about another 400 miles until you reach the California-Oregon border. And then the trail goes about 500 miles through the state of Oregon and until you reach Washington. And then the trail goes through the state of Washington to the Canada border, and you're in Washington for roughly about 500 miles. So my plan, like I said, is to start mid-April. For this through hike, I'm doing it quite a bit different than other ones. My wife's gonna mail me all of my food resupply boxes on this for multiple reasons. One, I got some kind of dietary, I call it restrictions. So mainly I'm just trying to stay away from gluten. So I want to be sure that I have the food that I want and need. And so there's about 33 resupply stops that I have where my wife will be mailing me boxes to. Each section that I'm doing is roughly 4 to 8 days in length. So leaving out of town, my pack weight will be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 25 to 38 pounds. So much heavier pack than I guess what I've carried in the past, or at least for that long period of time. And I will be doing videos on this trip. So for this trip, I plan to do 1 video per section. So each section again is like 48 days. Maybe some of the longer sections, I'll break it up into 2 separate videos, but that's my plan right now. And I'm still finalizing my gear kind of had a snafu with the pack I was going to take on this trip. So now I'm trying to figure out almost kind of last minute what backpack I'm going to take. And I think I'm also changing up my shelter at the last moment too. So before I leave, I'll probably do like a final gear video loadout. But yeah, I guess my main concern about this trip is just fatigue. Post Appalachian Trail through hike, I've had some health problems, mainly leading to like really severe fatigue. I think I'm past some of that, so crossing my fingers, that's behind me. But yeah, that's kind of my plan for the PCT. So thanks for checking this video out. I hope you all have a good day.